In today's What If Wednesday on Locked On Mavs, we answer the question, what if Anthony Davis is fully healthy for the entire season? What does it mean for the Mavs this year? On today's Locked On Mavs.
Stop it! Stop! The number one pick will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg will fly in Dallas.
Dogs, all of us, all five.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm gonna get a city like that.
You are Locked On the Dallas Mavericks. This is one of your co-hosts, Isaac Harris, covering the Mavs for the last 10 seasons alongside my good friend Nick Angstead. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And here we are. It's a Wednesday, I think, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. July 30th, and this is my son's 7th birthday. So shout out to my son. Happy birthday, Roman. And I say that on this show because we started doing the show in 2017, and no kids at the time. And now we're pregnant with our third. And but I remember those first days of my son. We were a year into this podcast, and my son, being born and all the stuff. And a lot of you guys, the OGs, I did a show, the Kristaps Porzingis trade. I did a show at one of my son's first checkup appointments at the hospital after being born, and told my wife, I was like, hey, Mavs just did a big trade. I'm going out to the car to record a podcast. You got our new baby son's appointment right now. So that was, definitely gave me a dad award that day. But anyway, I want to talk about Anthony Davis today. So for the past multiple years, many years, we've done What If Wednesdays during the off season, this time from free agency to the start of training camp. And a lot of times in past years, we focused on What If Wednesdays of the past, like, hey, what if this didn't happen? How would it change the future? And this off season, we're kind of focusing on what if this happens in the future? What would that mean? So we did what if Cooper Flagg is a top 50 player this season? And we did that episode last week. So this week we're doing, I'm doing, what if Anthony Davis is fully healthy this year? We were talking about different ways to do this episode, and we were texting about it earlier today, and I threw that out, and Nick was like, well, that's kind of sad to say it that way. And it's like, well, I don't know how else to say it, because it's like, what if AD is full? I mean, we could say what if he doesn't get hurt this year? Because I think that's one of the, if not the top thing about this Mavericks team this year, this a question mark, if we want to say that, of how high the ceiling for the Mavs can go. It's I think Anthony Davis's health is bigger than how fast Kyrie comes back or how good Cooper Flagg is in year one. If you're telling me if you get Anthony Davis for a full season, for the most part of the season, then we're going to talk about it today. What does that mean for the Mavs ceiling this year? And you're like, hey, is this a thing for AD? One, is the injuries kind of overblown? Let's just say over the past 5 years, over the past 5 seasons, Anthony Davis has played over 60 games one time. But that one time was just 2 seasons ago, and that's the 2023-2024 season in LA. He played 76 games. It was a monster season from AD. That's when you've seen, honestly, it's when you talk about two-way players in the NBA, that list is really short about a guy who can dominate on the offensive side and can not dominate just as much on the defensive side. And, a lot of times you go to the Giannis conversation with that, but AD is right behind Giannis probably. And as far as two-way guys, who's the best two-way guy when they're fully healthy? You look at that season, that 2023-24 season for AD in LA, he was all defensive first team. He was all NBA second team, and he was top 5 in defensive player of the year. He averaged 25 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks a game. D'Angelo Russell was on that team. Max Christie was on that team. So if there are a set of teammates here in Dallas that believe in Anthony Davis having a fully healthy season, or hey, if there's 2 teammates that can speak to how good a fully healthy Anthony Davis is for a long extended period of time, it's Max Christie and D'Angelo Russell, because they saw Anthony Davis just be purely dominant that season. And it was just the 2023-24 season, right? Like that season just ended last spring, for them, as we're in 2025 now. So that was last spring that year ended, in which he played 76 games. And, we know the injuries that happened over the last year once he got traded to Dallas, and the groin injury, and then even this off season, it's like, what's going on with his eye right now? Like, what is this? Like, which I kind of want more details about. We haven't heard a ton about it. It was just kind of like just snuck in there of like, hey, retina surgery, like surgery on his eye. And it's like, what happened? So I kind of want more details and stuff on that. Hopefully before training camp, or media day, we get more answers on that. But so you're just like, hey, how likely is this? How optimistic do you want to be? If you're like, hey, that was just 2 seasons ago, I think he can do this. He himself was asked about questions, or about his past injuries in press conferences here in Dallas. And it's like, man, if you go back and look at a lot of my injuries, they're kind of freak injuries here and there. So we're, for the sake of this podcast, for the next, 20 minutes, I'm going to answer the question, or I want us to walk through, all right, if AD is fully healthy, what does that mean for Dallas? What does it mean for the team? What does it mean for the Western Conference? What does it mean for Nico Harrison? What does it mean for Cooper Flagg? What does it mean for the fans? And I want to ask this question off the bat before I start going down through each one of them. Is he the most, I don't know how to word it. When you think of the biggest what if injury players in the NBA right now, now you can say this with anybody, right? Like you could go across the league and it's like, all right, well, yeah, anybody can get hurt anytime. But y'all know the type of players I'm thinking about right now. The guys the big names, the big contracts, that when they're healthy, man, they're at the peak of their powers, and it's dominant. It elevates their team. You're talking about where they rank in the NBA and all of that. So let's take out the people who are probably out for the entire season, like a Tatum or a Halliburton or a Damian Lillard, somebody like that. And just look at the guys who have kind of like the nagging injuries and that can't stay consistently healthy. Who out of this, I just made a short list. Now I'm probably forgetting somebody. I made a short list and said Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Zion, Kawhi, Ja Morant. Would you throw Luka in there? Probably not after that Men's Health article. I think we'll probably talk about some Luka stuff tomorrow on tomorrow's show, because I got some thoughts on the PR tour right now, but I'm super happy for him. And anyway, so Anthony Davis, Embiid, Zion, Kawhi, Ja Morant. If all of those players were fully healthy for the entire season, who has the biggest impact on their team? Let me take Ja out. Even though Memphis is really good when he plays, let me take Zion out, because I think the Pelicans, even if Zion at the peak of his powers fully healthy, I don't think it elevates the Pelicans that high. So I'm looking at AD, Embiid, Kawhi, and I think ultimately it comes down, for me, even though the East is wide open and I get that, I think it comes down for me is Anthony Davis versus Kawhi Leonard. Who, if you could guarantee a fully healthy season from Kawhi and Anthony Davis, which one of those has the biggest impact on their team and the ceiling of their team? And I think you could make a good case for Anthony Davis in that, because when Anthony Davis is fully healthy and he's playing just like he was 2 seasons ago, you're looking at, like we said, one of the best two-way guys in the league that's going to dominate both ends, that has impact across the. I have a spider right here. Get away from me, unless you're going to turn me into Spider-Man. You got to get away. Sorry if you're not watching on YouTube. That was kind of a weird audio clip there. So anyway, I think if you did like a draft of those players, I want to say it's Anthony Davis versus Kawhi and the fully healthy part and how much that impacts their team. Say all that to say, if the Mavs got a fully healthy season from AD, then watch out for the Dallas Mavericks next season. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back, and I want to talk about the impact it has on the team, Cooper Flagg of fans, and what kind of Nico Harrison quotes we would get if we got a fully healthy Anthony Davis season. This podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. You ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat, not the passenger seat, not the back seat or the trunk. It puts you in the driver's seat with your finances. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always trying to like log into different things to find out stuff with my finances, where I'm like texting my wife like, hey, I don't know the password of this. What is the password of this? I forgot this. And it's like, oh, here's another app. Monarch Money helps centralize that. This is where you can take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Yeah. Got a little transition music there on the soundboard. Bingo. I still got to put my drops on there. I kind of want to put the drops on there without, dang, the spider is back. All right. If I just start like spidey senses going on. I got to put some drops on the soundboard. I want to surprise Nick with it. And someday I will. And you guys will be so proud of me, hopefully. All right, let's talk about the team. If AD has a fully healthy season, we're doing a what if Wednesday here. What if Anthony Davis is fully healthy? What if he has a season like he did 2 seasons ago and plays 76 games for the Mavericks? I think it means they're in the top 6 of the West. I think that puts them, if you're telling me you got 76 games from Anthony Davis this season, I'm telling you the Mavericks they are top 6 seed in the Western Conference. And I think some of you are probably listening to this or watching this saying top 6. I think they're top 4. And I could hear the case for that. Because a fully healthy AD season with, you still assume OKC and then some iteration of Denver and Houston for most people. Even if you take those 3 above the Mavs, you still got a 4th spot there as far as top 4 seed in the West. And you're telling me you're for sure like confident that if AD was healthy, then Minnesota would have a better record than them, or the Clippers or the Lakers. Maybe you might. Obviously, you can disagree with that, but I think they're top 6 in the West if AD plays 76 games, and that means one of these teams would be pushed to the play-in. OKC, Denver, Houston, Minnesota, Clippers, Lakers. Which one of those teams be in the play-in? Be pretty wild to think about. I mean, a lot of people I feel like the Clippers are kind of like the Hawks of the West right now, to where a lot of people are like, it's like trendy of, can the Clippers win the West? Look how deep they are. And it's like, awesome. Yes, they have a super deep team. They can all get like a discount at restaurants and stuff right now, but it's like, I think they are a deep team, good team. But if AD's like fully healthy, would it be crazy if they were in the play-in? I don't think it's crazy because of some of the injuries they could have and different things. So I think it pushes one of those teams to the play-in. What else does it mean for the team? It means less minutes in the front court. If AD plays 76 games, then that means he's playing a ton of minutes. That means he's secured he's probably playing the 4 a ton. So it's just inevitable that's less minutes in the front court. I think a lot of the conversation right now, I even listened to our friend Tim Cato. He's on Zach Lowe's show the other day, and it was like, they were talking about the front court and PJ Washington. They were like, well, it's inevitable. I mean, we've all said this. Like, it's inevitable that they're going to miss some time. AD's going to miss time. Lively's going to miss time. And that's kind of like the written in excuse of like, well, who's going to get minutes or the written in answer for, well, where's PJ Washington going to play? Well, I mean, you just gave Gafford an extension. Like you're going to extend him and then I give him a ton of minutes. And it's like the answer every time is, well, Lively and AD is going to miss time. So they're definitely going to get their minutes. Well, if AD plays 76 games, that means he's not missing much time. So that means less minutes in the front court. What does that mean for those guys? I don't know. I think it's good for the team, but what does it mean for those guys? Does it impact a long-term future? Does it impact trades? I don't know what it would impact, but it just means less minutes in the front court. If you get 76 games out of AD, I think it means defense wins championships, baby. The Mavs defense would obviously, I mean, this is the most obvious thing, would obviously be better. He's one of the best defensive players in the entire NBA when he's healthy. And I mean, defending the paint, he can switch off on guys. I think personally, I would love to see him get a little bit more nimbler. Is that a right word? A little bit more nimble. I think that's the way, probably the best way of saying it. Or agile, or get more like the New Orleans days. AD to be able to switch better and on the perimeter and all this stuff. But even right now, he's really good at that. Obviously, defend the paint and protect the rim and all that stuff. So if he's playing that much, then that means your defense should be really good. And the Mavericks finished 20th, 21st in defensive rating last year. You combine that type of AD season with all the perimeter defense that you have on the wing right now with PJ and Cooper and Caleb Martin and Max Christie and Najee, and you just go down the line and you're like, all right, we got all this perimeter defense. We have Lively and Gafford and stuff too. You have all of this size on the team. If AD's playing that much, then that means you have a top defense. Top 10, definitely top half. I'm confident in that. I would say top 10 defense if you have Anthony. I mean, heck, you better have a top 10 defense. If you get a fully healthy Anthony Davis, and the whole calling card this whole time after the trade was about defense, and how it wins championships. And if you're not a top 10 team and he plays 76 games, top 10 team in defense, something's not mathing at that point. So I put this down. If he plays 76 games, that means we will have an answer about the double bigs lineup, because we'd have a big enough sample size. That's all it means for me. I think we'll have an answer. I don't think if he plays 76 games, I'm not telling you that means the double bigs worked. I'm not telling you it means the double bigs didn't work. I just think we would feel really confident of knowing if the answer to that, if it worked or didn't, if he plays that many games. The worst case scenario is he gets hurt different times, and we have these like sporadic little stretches of like, oh, we had 8 to 10 games there. Oh, okay, we had this stretch. And then we're going into the playoffs and we're like, well, dang, I don't even have a better opinion than I did at the beginning of the season on the double bigs lineup. Does it work? I don't know. No, it would be awesome to have that answer. And if he plays that much, if he has a healthy season, we would have an answer on that lineup. Does it change anything with Kyrie's return? I think some people are way more skeptical about his return than I am. I'm feeling confident and yes. Anyway, I don't think he's going to be out for the whole season. I'll just leave it at that. And does a fully healthy AD season change any of that? If there is any type of, let's say for the people who are really taking that Twitch clip and saying that Twitch clip right there means Kyrie's not coming back. Okay, if you are in that camp or in a believer in that camp that Kyrie is in that, or that's how it's going to be, then a fully healthy Anthony Davis season, does that change any of that for him? Does he look at him like, dude, man, AD is like rolling right now. He is a top 6 player in the league. He's fully healthy. Dang, we got a shot at it. Does that change anything with Kyrie's return? I could hear both ways with that. Here's a question I don't know the answer to. If AD plays 76 games, he's fully healthy this season, what does that mean for the guard play? Does that mean it like worked out? Does that mean anything for the guards? I don't know. I wouldn't say Anthony Davis, like, he obviously works better when he can get set up or run and roll and all that stuff, but he's not like fully dependent on it like a Lively or Gafford or something like that. So I don't know what the answer is to that as far as what does it mean for guard play and what does it mean for D'Lo's season in Dallas and all of that. But I think what it would mean for Dallas is it obviously, I mean, this is the best player. Some of you are like, well, duh, this is stupid. Like he's our best player. You're telling me if he's healthy, we'd be better. Yes. But I think they could be, if he is fully healthy, plays that many games and goes into the playoffs, postseason basketball, fully healthy. There's a lot of stuff with the rest of the roster that you won't need answers on and stuff, but that's the thing that would vault them into that upper echelon of teams. As long as some other things work out here and there, you got to have the Anthony Davis healthy season for that to be able to happen, or for them to reach those milestones. Let's take another quick break, and then we'll be back. And I want to talk about the impact it would have on the fans, Cooper Flagg, and yes, Nico Harrison.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Yeah, we're back. Oh, I didn't even play there we go. There's some transition music I have on the soundboard. Talking about Anthony Davis. What if he's fully healthy this upcoming season? Let's just say for Nico Harrison, I mean, it definitely takes some heat off Nico, right? I mean, if there's anybody else besides Anthony Davis that needs a fully healthy Anthony Davis season, and honestly, I think you can make the argument that Nico Harrison needs a fully healthy Anthony Davis season more than AD. It's Nico Harrison. Like, Nico would need that so bad, because imagine if AD does play the full 76. And for me, if he does full 76, there's 82 games in a season, by the way. Let's say he is fully healthy for this season for the most part, plays 75, 80 games. Then I obviously think that he's going to hit a lot of these different things. I think he's going to be one of the best players in the league. I think he's going to be all defensive. I think it means the Mavs are a top 6 team and they're a top defensive team in the league and all this different stuff. And you know the guy would be grinning ear to ear, would be Nico Harrison. And we'd have incredible quotes, all right? Because at that point, if the Mavericks finish the season and AD is like his thing, they're top 4 in the league, they're one of the best defenses in the league, and people are like projecting them, or the odds are saying that, man, they're one of the best teams with the best odds to go for a title chase. Dare I say, at that point, if Nico Harrison waited until that point and said something about seeing the vision, you would at least understand it a little bit more. Because that's the guy he traded for. That's the guy who said, you know, he's like, defense wins championships, and lauded his defense and two-way player. He's talked about that and all the things. If that all happened, then it's like, all right, you kind of see it. Like, that's the vision you wanted. That's why you went out and got a guy like that, and it's working. It's worked during this regular season. So yes, I think it would mean a ton for Nico Harrison, and it would take a lot of the heat off Nico, because summer bod Luka right now. Klay Thompson, it was the summer of Klay, and Luka said, hold my beer, because Luka is coming full force to make this the summer of Luka. And the Mavs, and in particular Nico Harrison, desperately need a basketball answer from Anthony Davis after this summer. And plus, man, we'd get some good Nico quotes, right? It would be inevitable that we would get an incredible Nico drop towards the end of the regular season after AD has a fully healthy season and all the stuff. What would it mean for Cooper Flagg if AD is fully healthy this year? I think it would mean a lot of minutes at the 3 for Cooper. Once again, when people were talking about Cooper's position, I think one of the go-to responses is, oh, well, he's going to get a lot of time at the 4 because AD is going to miss time, Lively's going to miss time, blah, 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 blah. And if AD plays majority of the games and he's fully healthy, then he's probably going to log majority of those at the 4 because they've kind of committed to that. He's still going to get minutes at the 5, maybe finish some games at the 5 and stuff, and then Cooper can play at the 4 for sure. But if he's fully healthy, then that means he's like probably playing the 4 the most. And that means Cooper's probably playing the 3, which is fine. Like, I think that's great. I think Cooper said himself he likes playing the 3 the most. So I don't take that as like a bad thing at all. I think a Cooper AD front court or 3-4 combo there is a lot of fun, especially on paper. So yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, does it affect some of his counting stats? I mean, sure, a little bit, but Kyrie's going to miss a good chunk of the season there. So it's like, there's definitely room for great counting stats or great stuff across the board with both Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis. So I don't think it has that big of an impact to Cooper outside of pushing him to play the 3 a lot more. And the last thing I want to bring up is, if AD is fully healthy this season, what's the impact it has on the fans? And I think it would be huge. And for 2 reasons. And I think they're pretty obvious reasons. One, he's a dang good basketball player. I think since in the aftermath of all of the Luka trade and everything, he probably never thought in his career that he would be underrated. With the accolades that he has, the Olympic stuff, the title, Kentucky, and just the hype coming into the NBA and all the stuff. He probably never thought he was going to be like underrated, but I think because of the aftermath of all the stuff that's happened, he's become like underrated to a lot of people. And if he has this fully healthy season and dominates, then that's just a lot of fun stuff that we got to watch. Like, that means we had a lot of fun watching him play basketball on both ends of the floor. He's so dominant. I'm going to pull a Nico here and go back to that first half and how special those 2 quarters were in that Houston game. I mean, that was electric basketball. Just the AAC was rocking. It was insane, that first game for AD, when he had the dunk and he was, I'm still here, and pointing down, and all this stuff, or I'm here. I'm still here. Sorry. Is that a Brady quote? I think that's a Brady quote. So it would just be a lot of fun. A lot of fun memories in AAC if he's fully healthy. A lot of fun for the fans and rooting for a good team. And the second, it just naturally eases some of the Luka tension. Like, there is a very real scenario in which the Mavs start this season. Luka comes in with the summer bod, and he starts off right off the top of the season just going nuclear and looking amazing, looking healthy. And the Mavs are trying to figure out some things without Kyrie. There's a scenario in which, AD tweaks an ankle or something and is out a week or 2. And then all of the heat from the trade is back. Like, for people who think the heat from the trade stuff is just like done, man, I got another thing coming for you. If people think that is just done with fans, if Luka goes nuclear this season and the Mavericks struggle and AD has another injury, it's just going to go right back to the top of everyone's minds again. So if AD is fully healthy and playing at the peak of his powers, then it just it just eases some of that. It allows maybe more people to turn the page and move on, or at least make new memories and have fun. If we're having fun, that helps so much of it. And ultimately, it makes like that Lakers Mavs game so much fun. Makes it so incredible. Like, going into, can you imagine that first Mavs Lakers game if Luka is like new in shape Luka who's dominating right, at that stretch. AD is fully healthy and dominating, one of the best guys, players in the league too. You got two of the top players in the league, and Luka and AD, and then all the supporting cast stuff. Like, that would be an awesome, awesome game. Because last year we're kind of robbed over here and there with injuries and not fully healthy and different stuff with that. So yeah, that would make that game a lot of fun. It's probably going to be the Christmas Day game and all that stuff too. So there you go. I try to go through a bunch of different scenarios. If I missed a route or a talking point of if AD is fully healthy, leave it in the comments. I'll try to respond to a few in there of what's something that I didn't think of if AD is fully healthy. Maybe you could talk about the next contract, maybe, and all that, but it's still kind of fairly early into this big contract for AD and stuff. So ultimately, it would just be a lot of fun, and I think the Mavs would be really good. And it would just be fun to watch. I think when AD is dominant and playing really good basketball and is on the court, then a lot of good things happen for his teams, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope we get to see it. I'm confident that we are going to get a healthier Anthony Davis, and hopefully we can say at the end of this, hey, how many times did he play over 60 games in the last 6 seasons? And you can say 2 of them, because hopefully this next year is one of those years. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Brand new episode. I think Nick, slightly, myself. We got some takes to fire off for Takeoff Thursday, and then Friday we're coming back with a fantasy draft on Friday, and it's a good one. We've already been prepping for it, and yes, you don't want to miss Friday's show. You don't want to miss Thursday's show either. But and all 3 of us will be back on Friday too, so it'll be good. Good few days of shows, and as always, yeah, we got you covered through every day of the off season. And subscribe to our Text Insider program on Subtext to get all the latest news with the Mavs. All right. I should have already hit the outro video by now. Where is that? Why does Nick have a meme of himself in our program here? Gosh, can't believe him. Here we go. All right. Peace out. Boom. See you tomorrow.